Welcome back to Central Valley Talk. Our show is Central Valley Business. Are you in business? Are you thinking of going in business? It's a crazy time, the economy and stuff like that, minimum wages. But there's some things you should know if you're in business now or you're thinking of starting a business. Big question happens is nobody pays cash anymore. It's all cards. And you got to spend some time before you jump into a relationship to find out about taking credit cards. So we asked an expert to come in and kind of train us on that, educate us, Gilbert Dowling. And you're with the company Electronic Payments, Inc., and that's what you do. You help people take cards in their business.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're a merchant services provider. And basically what that means is if you have a small business and you want to take credit cards, you either go through your bank to get set up with a merchant services account, or you contact somebody like my company, EPI. I'm an agent partner in a national company. And what we will do is we'll come out to your business and figure out, what you're selling, where the average tickets are going to be, and ultimately educate you on what you need to be aware of and where your cost should be at the end of the month after a processor goes in and you ran $30,000 in credit card sales for a month and they charge you $300, that's 3%. Educate you on how to figure out where your costs are at so you can make sure you're not being overcharged and you're holding on to your profits.
Great. Now, when I started a business, I banked at, I'll just give you a hint. You probably know which. It's the worst bank in the world, B of A. And they had me jump. You fill out all these applications and all these forms, and we'll see if you qualify. And it got so cumbersome, I said, forget it. I went to another way. So is it a big, cumbersome thing like that with your company?
Not at all. And the problem is that banks don't process credit cards. Bank of America is not a payment processor. What they'll do is they'll outsource. They do what's called an RFP. It's a request for a proposal. So they'll come to a company like mine and three of my competitors. They will ask us to bid on their merchant customer base based on how many clients they have, and they want us to assume all the liability. And in some cases we will if it's the right deals. But no, you come to us, we'll fill out a 3-page app, get a voided check, and within 24 hours your account is approved. Give you a free terminal. You don't need to buy anything from us. If you need a credit card machine, we'll give it to you. If you need a POS, we'll give it to you, as long as you pay a cloud fee each month. But no, it's not stressful, and it works out well for everybody.
Tell us where the economy is moving. I mean, is cash going to be gone pretty soon?
Cash has been on the outs for probably the last 20 years. I mean, you're talking, plastic cards, cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, these are Venmo, these are cryptocurrencies. And, unfortunately, the American dollar has no value anymore, and banks just don't, the Federal Reserve just doesn't print money like they used to. And it's very convenient to use a card. I mean, between using a card and collecting free reward points to go to Hawaii at the expense of us, what was that, Gil? Well, you own a small business. So I come in, I own a business, I give you my gold card that has reward points. I use that card to pay my $100 bill, and I just got 15 points to go to Hawaii at your expense.
Your expense, that's right. Now, you do a lot of restaurants.
I service a lot of restaurants in the Valley.
Yeah, I go to restaurants every day.
Yep.
I don't cook or anything.
Yeah,
but
I'm right there with you.
I pay with the card.
Yep.
And but my buddy goes in, and we can buy a couple beers or something. He throws down this big wad of cash, and boy, those waitresses love him. I'm thinking, wait, I tipped bigger than he did, but it's on the card. So, but yeah, I see that going away. By the way, I don't think we talked about it yet, but McDonald's, it's now $18 for the Big Mac meal.
Oh, yeah.
And I see maybe they're going to start going away from having all those workers in there.
Oh, see, it's not just them. I have clients right now that are family-owned taquerias in the Valley. We service about 190 restaurant owners in the San Joaquin Valley. Family-owned restaurants. We're not talking McDonald's types. We're talking family-owned businesses, blood, sweat, and tears, second, third generation family-owned businesses. And some of these restaurant owners, as they expand and grow their business, we have a client in Bakersfield right now that's looking at setting up 2 more restaurants, and we're going to robotics, and we're going to kiosk. Yes. And that's exactly, Mike, it's a great question, because the problem is that it's all based on supply and demand. And, when the federal government changes rules about minimum wage laws and everything else, when you own a restaurant, unfortunately, the first place to raise that price is that menu price to offset the difference for the minimum wage cost.
They don't have a choice.
They have no choice, and that's why the kiosks are so popular right now in thought, because for $5,000 you can buy a kiosk. Only thing we haven't figured out yet is how to mount it down with crime on the rise. We're afraid somebody will steal them right off the counters, you know. So, yeah, no, robotics and kiosks are definitely on the move.
Well, let me ask you this: you said the guy does 30,000 a month, and his fees are going to be 3% or whatever.
Yeah.
I went to a restaurant this week. I go there all the time, and I usually use debit cards, but I started using a credit card because I get the points.
Right.
I want my points.
But
I noticed on my bill it says 3% for credit card fee. But can your company set that up for?
There is so many. There's 3 or 4 different programs right now for a small business owner to be on, and if your rep is really in tune with compliance rules between Visa, MasterCard, and bank card issuers, and they're really looking for the ultimate savings to try to get back to the small business owner, yeah, you're talking dual pricing, Mike. As long as the merchant has some sort of signage up that says if you come into our business and you use your card, whether it's debit or credit, we're going to apply a 3% fee added to your bill. The problem is most small business owners, they don't put those signs up.
No.
And to me, it's very deceiving because the program is legal. Why not follow the rules? Because you'll ruin it for the ones that are actually trying to make it right. And 2023, Visa took 7,700 complaints from consumers. Now, 7,700 complaints is not a lot of complaints when you're talking about a $100 billion entity, which is Visa, MasterCard. I mean, these companies are they're very wealthy, but they're worried about their image. So these consumers called up and complained about business owners charging the fee back, and the complaint was all centered around the same issue. Either they didn't have a sign up in the window explaining there was an additional fee that would be applied to credit or debit, or the sign was up on the window and the sign was faded where you couldn't read the sign, or there was no verbiage on the receipts that said that showed the additional fee. So there are compliance rules. If you are caught in violation, I don't know if you've ever heard of the secret shoppers that Visa hires.
Yes.
They are on the move right now in the San Joaquin Valley. Yeah. They hired last year 100 of them out of San Francisco to take on the San Joaquin Valley. And
see who's keeping the rules and who's violating
that's
the rules.
exactly right. And we happen to know of a client that was told, and they had the signs up, they had the right terminal, they had the right receipts. They still got in trouble. So, we wrote a letter back to Visa, and we got Visa to put them back, take them off the list, and allow them to continue to charge the fee, because we sent pictures of the compliance matters, and we sent them right there. I told them, hey, I don't know who your secret shopper is, but they didn't do the customer any justice. And here are pictures, receipts, and signage. You let us know what you want us to do with the merchant. In the meantime, we'll take them off the program, we'll make them pay the fee, and we'll wait for a response from Visa. And Visa came back and did the right thing, let the merchant charge a fee.
Good for them.
Yeah, they did the right thing.
But you were their advocate for the business.
I was totally their advocate. That's the difference between getting signed up with a bank and signed up with some Joe Schmo that's going to go out there and light you up on a lease for a credit card machine, which is very popular, or a lease for a Clover product, $50 a month for 5 years. No, I get paid a residual each month to service my relationships, and it's my job to make sure that you, as a small business, are very happy. I don't want to lose my residual each month. I want to make sure you're happy.
Make sure you're happy.
Take stress out of your life.
Yeah, that's why it's good to have a relationship. You're more of a relationship company.
Like you and me. We have a relationship.
The bank where I was applying, there's no relationship.
No.
And they turned me off from the beginning.
No, it's funny you mentioned the bank, because I just had an email come in from a senior VP from Bank of Sierra, and I was going to send them some information, but prior to me getting involved with my own business, I ran the portfolio for a processor called Nova, and Nova was around about 20 years ago, and they were bought out by U.S. banks, so it's now called Elevon, and Elevon is the payment processor for Costco members. So anybody think you got a good deal because you got merchant services through Costco? You don't. Elevon is the payment processor. U.S. Bank owns them. your key transactions over the phone. It's very expensive stuff. Give me a call, and I'd be more than happy to give you a free comparison and a $25 gift card for taking some time with me.
Just for asking.
Just for asking.
So I have a lot of friends. In fact, a lot of restaurants in the Tower District watch this show.
Yes.
So if they call you, you can run their numbers. You give them a gift card.
I'll do more than that. If they're restaurant owners, I'll give them a free. I'll give them something of value. I'll give them a free. If you call me, you tell me if you have a POS 3 1/8, or if you have a regular terminal, I'll send you a free case of 50 rolls of thermal tape. I'll make it worth your time. Very much worth your time.
There you go.
Yeah.
So if you have a business, you're going to open a business. You've been doing it for a while. You take credit cards. If you don't take credit cards, you need to talk to Gil and get on that, because this is the economy now.
Or if you've got a POS and the software's outdated, you've got Micros, and believe me, I'm very familiar with Micros technology. It's outdated. You cannot put an additional fee on your receipts, and that is a compliance matter. And the reason is because the IRS, when they're involved in everything, they want to make sure that when you're filing your receipts with your accountant, that you're showing proof on that receipt that you collected it, and that fee now becomes an income and not an expense. In case you all didn't know that, if you're charging that fee, that now is treated as income that goes on your bottom line instead of an expense. If you're not charging the fee, it's an expense. If you charge the fee, it becomes income.
Wow.
Yeah.
You got to call Gil because he knows and understands all this stuff. I asked Gil, I said, can I give out your phone number? And he said, yeah, go ahead. I'm going to try to see it from here, Gil. 559-536.
0588.
88.
Yes, sir.
Call Gil direct.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Can we text that number?
Absolutely. You can definitely text it. See, everybody loves to text. I don't mind it. It's less invasive. If you want to reach out and just tell me who you are, I'd be more than happy to talk to you. And if you're under a contract with your current processor, don't be afraid. Give me a call, because I may buy you out of your agreement. I may pay out to get you out of the agreements.
Can I say this? It's free to ask.
Go ahead.
It's free to ask.
It's absolutely free to ask. Knowledge is power.
So if you're in a contract, you already have a system, even if you like it, it's free to ask Gil.
Call me. And if you're uncertain about your software or something, I'm not going to press you. I can at least help inform you and try to help you.
Very good. Gil Dowling is our guest. And by the way, this video, if you know somebody ought to see this, it's going to be on YouTube. Our YouTube channel, our Facebook channel, our CentralValleyTalk.com channel, every single day for a month. We're going to push the heck out of this, and everybody should know about this. It's a very important thing that people need to know. Thank you, Gil.
You're very welcome, Michael. Thank you.
We'll be back with more Central Valley Talk right after this.